What's up, everybody? It's Kurt at Midcoast Performance. So recently I just had a handful of people telling me that maybe I should do a YouTube channel. And, you know, I don't really think about it, but a lot of the stuff I do I just kind of assume is normal or mundane or whatever. But a lot of them are saying, no, you should really show it. I think you assume a lot of people just know what goes into some of the stuff that you do. So I've been trying to figure out what to do a video about or how to start it. And just recently, my dad and I decided that we were going to try to do Drag Week again. Mostly because the race season's kind of been a mess with the coronavirus, and we haven't really had a chance to race much. So we decided, why not salvage it by trying to do Drag Week. Of course, I didn't get signed up for Drag Week, so I signed up late, got on the wait list. That's all right. What I'm going to do is get a car together here and show up. Hopefully they have room, and we can do it. If not, the plan is we'll still go and just watch, but we'll go to have fun. That's really the key there. So we did it in 2015 in my Fairmont, which I don't know if you can see way back there. It's on the table, all cut apart, because I had grand plans to make that into a much faster chassis and everything. I got distracted with other cars, and that's how that happens. But we went just intending to, with the goal of just finishing the week with that car, and we had a blast. Didn't really know what to expect, had never done it. About after the second day, we realized, we were sitting in fourth place, we realized, hey, we got a shot at getting top 3 in this deal. So we kind of turned the car up a little bit and ended up getting third. So that was pretty cool. First time. Tried it again with another car that was way faster. 6-second car deal. Trying to win, and it was terrible. Nothing but problems. But I learned a lot, and decided that if I ever did Drag Week again, it was just going to go and have fun. It's really something to go and enjoy. So I'm going to show you the car that I'm working on here and tell you what I got going on. So let's flip the camera around. So this is my little Fox body. It's a 88 Mustang Coupe that I've been working on for a little while now, but of course decided to change a whole bunch of stuff now that I decided I'm going to go to Drag Week, because that's what Drag Week guys do, is let's, see if we can throw a whole bunch of work that we might not be able to get done by the time Drag Week actually happens. So what I've got, it's a Gen 2 Coyote motor, and this one is out of a 2015 F-150. So they're a little bit different than the Mustang engines, but for what I want to do, it's going to be just fine. Turbocharger, you see, obviously. Basically, I started building this car as like a test bed to build stuff for guys that are going to Coyote swap these Mustangs. Built all the suspension, built the turbo kit, built fixtures for all this stuff. So this stuff will all be available. Drag Week will be a great test for it, I'll tell you that. This is just an S475 with the big 96 132 turbine side on it. I really didn't want to put too much turbo on the thing where I was going to grenade the motor when I turn it up, because eventually I will try to turn it up, because that's what everybody does. So we'll see how far that goes. But the reason I use this is this is going to be totally upgradable, and to, I mean, you could put a 1500 horsepower custom turbo deal in this chassis, this basic size turbo, and it's all going to fit, right? So let's see what we got going on. I've got the F-150 motor, Coyote motor. I got a Power Glide because I had a spare one from the other car that is really, the other car turned into something that is too powerful for that transmission. But that transmission's good. It's good JW case glide, probably 2,000 horsepower capable deal. Built an 8.8 for it. I'll raise the car up and show you all that stuff. So I guess we'll start at the front. You can see the K member that I built, the control arms, it's got stock Fox spindles on it right now with strange drag brakes. I've got a spare set of these. I'll probably bring those with me for drag week just because I won't be able to get those at a parts store. The rear brakes are stock SN95 disc, GTV6 one's the small disc, but not going to bring any of those because I should be able to stop hopefully at a parts store if I needed any brakes. So got big 4-inch downpipe that dumps here, but it's got a valve on it that opens at about, I think they said like 7 pounds of boost or something. And then I got exhaust that runs back all the way to the back axle with the muffler in there. Hopefully it will be quiet. My idea with this car really is not to build a race car, but a kind of like a hybrid, which is what a lot of my customers want, a fast street car. So what I did when I built this K-member, I wanted some things that the race car K-members have, but some things that the street K-members still retain. So it's kind of like a cross between a stock replacement K-member and an outlaw K-member. It's got a lot wider main hoop on it, so they get more clearance for your turbo headers and stuff like that, which is nice. But I kept the control arms are still a bushing. It's not a rod end or anything like that. And how I did that was I made these aluminum shims here. You can offset your wheelbase if you're wanting to, push the wheels forward or something like that. You can do that by readjusting these shims right here. And then it's got a Pinto rack. And the reason I did that was it gives me a lot more adjustment on the bump steer stuff. Instead of having a huge stack on the spindle. So I can raise it up here in addition to lowering it down here, because I really kind of like my cars really low, so I'm going to slam this thing down. Something that I haven't done yet is I got to build some drop spindles, so that's on my list of things to do. The other thing that's on my list of things to do is add air conditioning, which I just got a whole bunch of parts in. That's going to be probably the first project that I tackle. That's one of the big jobs. The other big job I have is got a Holley Dominator on the way for the thing, so I got to wire that all up. I had it running on a factory, control pack ECU and everything, and they work well, but at the same time, being a turbo car and wanting some of the launch control ability and boost control and bump control and all that stuff built into it, and then automating some of the other things I have going on in here. It's got multiple fuel pumps in the tank. It's got big transcooler right here. That's something I learned on drag week the first time with my Fairmont. It's got a fan on that, just stuff like that I can make automated through the Dominator that the factory ECU won't do. And I can eliminate a lot of switches in the car and keep it looking stock, which is really what I want to do as much as you can, a red Mustang with bead locks on the back. So we got that. This is my generic. This is what I use on a lot of my cars. It works really well. A lot of people cheap, like $150 radiator that I weld all the fittings on the way I want. SN95 Mustang fan. They're cheap, they're easy to find, and they flow a lot of air. I've tested this car with this on here, and I can turn the fan off, let it get up to 220 if I want to even, kick the fan on, and it drops the temp down to 170 degrees in a couple of minutes. Honestly, it's pretty crazy what they can do. There's the Power Glide. It's got I can't remember what converter it is. My buddy Orson let me borrow this. This is out of one of his old 4.6 drag cars. So I figured it would probably at least give me a good starting point with this car so we could get on the track and see what it does. And then go from there. Let's see. Yeah, you'll notice all the bars under here. So basically, this is only an 850 chassis, but underneath the car, I built it like a 25.3. So in the event that I ever do end up building a motor for this thing and deciding to go fast with it, I will only have to do some minor modifications to the chassis on the inside. I won't really have to do any of the subfloor stuff. On the back, you can see the suspension. So here you can see the rear end. It's 8.8 that I narrowed up a whole bunch. I I'd have to go look at my notes to see exactly how much it is. Right now it's just got a some kind of a locking diff in the back with 31 spline axles, but I got some 35 spliners and a spool and a different gear set. I'm probably going to put a 355 or a 373 in it. It's got, I think, a 327 in it right now. AFCO Big Gun X shocks. Got the control arm set up that I build the torque boxes are all adjustable stuff. See if you can see that without me falling down. So lower torque boxes, upper torque boxes, all crazy adjustable. Yeah, I've got a lot of chassis work in this car, but it's all hidden. You can't really see it from the outside, which is kind of cool. It's actually got a Borla XR1 muffler. I've been trying to get this car to be quiet. It's still a little bit louder than I would like it to be, even with the muffler on it. So I don't know if I'm going to keep that or if I'm going to add another one upstream or exactly what I'm going to do. It's kind of hard to quiet a car with a 4-inch exhaust on the thing, even a Coyote. There, you'll notice the Mazir water pump. Behind here, which is actually underneath the rear seat delete kit type thing, I've got a water tank. I've actually made an intake for it that's got an air-to-water intercooler core inside of it. So I wanted it all kind of packaged neatly. You can't really tell when you look inside the car what's going on there. I'll show you here in a second. More adjustable stuff. All this stuff too is stuff that we build in-house, and you can order, or you can order whole housing all completely done. And you can see the bracing on the front of it here. The other thing I got here is a aluminum tank that I built for it, that it still uses the stock filler on the outside. So, you know, go into a gas station and fill it up like a normal street car instead of a race car. I did put a drain in it because I'm going to run it on the 85 at the track. I might even try methanol with the thing. I put injectors big enough that I could, because I just wanted to see what I could do with the stock Coyote motor. So we'll see. Maybe I'll slap a bigger turbo on it. After drag week is over, before the winter, I built a hanger inside this tank. It's got a triple pump hat, so the Dominator control that, depending on the boost and everything. And it's got a 1512 rear wheel, 275 Pro tire on it. Not sure if I'm going to run that or if I'm going to run a slick at drag week, but I'm not really sure it's really going to matter too much with this car. I'm hoping that it goes, really hoping it goes 850, but really anything in the 8s with this combination with it in like streetable trim, I'll be totally happy with. I really think it will be able to go 850 though. The car weighs about 3,100 pounds with me in it. So it's not crazy light, but it's not heavy either. Let me lower it down and I'll show you some of the stuff inside the car. So inside, like I said, it's an 850 cage, swing out door bars. Wanted to be able to take customers, my dad, friends, for rides without having to climb over everything. Pretty much just looks like a real clean black interior coupe. I do have S197 Mustang seats in it. I'll probably change this driver's seat out for a Kirky that I have just for drag week. It's just easier for the back brace and the harnesses and all that stuff, which I got to do that. I got to do the window net, and I got to have the chassis certified still. It does have a Dakota digital dash, which is super cool. I used to think they were kind of cheesy, but once I started using them, they're badass. All the different things you can do with them. Plus, they have a interface module that you can read either off the factory ECU through the OBD port, or it actually will talk with the Holley over the CAN bus system. So that's kind of cool too. Right now you can see on the center console I got a handful of switches. It's kind of dark in there, I don't know if you can see, but running that Dominator is going to allow me to eliminate almost all of those switches, because I can make all the fans and the fuel pumps and all that stuff automated. In the back seat, I've got this rear seat delete that I built, but battery goes in this little cubby hole right here, and I got another cubby hole on the other side, but another time when I'm working on that I'll show you. I got a water tank, about a 4.5 gallon water tank, not huge, but I'm going to run the 85 on the thing, so I think it's going to be fine. And I haven't decided where I'm going to mount the Dominator ECU yet. Behind the dash or under the seat or what. I kind of like my stuff easy to get to. If I've got an emergency and I got to fix it. But at the same time, I kind of want to keep the car looking stock-ish when somebody just looks inside of it. So we'll figure that out when that time comes. In the back, like I said, got this triple hat deal that I built for the fuel system. Right there. Big old custom sway bar that I built, anti-roll bar, mini tubs, pretty standard stuff, honestly. So, that's a quick rundown of what we're working with here. Got a little bit of work to do to get it ready for drag week, and I'll be doing that and making videos for everybody to watch and follow along. I got to do the AC, like I said. Upgrade the rear end parts, do the Dominator wiring, put on those drop spindles. I'm going to need some kind of strut right now. It's just got a Lakewood 9010 on the front. One of them is blown out, so that's going to have to be fixed for sure. I don't have a radio in the car. I want to have a radio in it. Got to mount a hood. I made everything to fit under a stock hood, and then I got to do a few chassis things, the window net, chute release, and then have it certified. But along the way, we'll be making updates and everything. So if you got any questions, got something you want to see more of, let me know. Thanks a lot.